नमस्कार। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृत तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदादतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। श्री रामकृष्ण कथामृतो प्रथम भाग षष्ठ खंडो तृतीय परिच्छेद, and we will continue our reading from the third chapter of the sixth section of the first volume of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. In the previous reading, we have seen that Sri Ramakrishna telling Rakhal, he's speaking to Rakhal, having come down from the samadhi, from that ecstatic mood to the normal plane. He is talking to Rakhal and telling him that, oh man, my dear child, you are angry with me, you are upset with me because I scolded you. There is a reason for that. And then Sri Ramakrishna said that there is a reason for everything. Like Sri Ramakrishna told Rakhal that if the disease has gone out of control, it has to be brought under control with strict measures. And then he had given that example of in case there is enlargement of the spleen, what is the remedy? In those days, the only remedy for the enlarged spleen was putting that leaf of a herb, manasa, on top of the spleen and branding it with hot iron. That was the remedy. That was the only solution. That was the only way to bring down that ailment. Such a severe treatment, branding with hot iron, just with that leaf on manasa leaf on top of that portion of spleen. So Sri Ramakrishna said, there is a reason why I scolded you. If one has to cure oneself of a disease, it has to be a harsh treatment. Don't feel bad about it. And then Sri Ramakrishna also had told us about Pratap Chandra Hazra. He says, he had told us that Hazra is like a dry wood. Hazra ke dekhlam, shushk kato. Just a dry wood, no substance in it. But then why is he staying here with me? There is also a reason. And then Sri Ramakrishna had given that example of Jatila and Kutila. Jatila and Kutila, the mother-in-law and sister-in-law of Radha, they used to always create obstacles in letting these gopis, letting Radha go and have the wonderful time with Sri Krishna. Now Sri Ramakrishna says that had Jatila and Kutila been not there, had this obstruction from meeting their beloved was not there, people would not have realized the pangs that these gopis felt with the separation of the Lord Krishna. The uh, pangs that Radha felt with the separation of her beloved Krishna. That was such a great yearning. Because of that trouble created by Jatila and Kutila, devotees can now realize, oh, how tough it would have been for the gopis to be away from Krishna, to be away from their beloved. So therefore, there was a reason for Jatila and Kutila also playing their role in Vrindavan at that point of time. And same way, there is a reason why Hazra is here. He is creating a lot of, complications, but still that is required. Because he was trying to obstruct such a loving intermingling of these children with Sri Ramakrishna. Now people realize the intensity of the motherly love that Sri Ramakrishna had for these children. So there is a reason for everything that is happening. And now Sri M continues the narration of what is happening. They are sitting with Sri Ramakrishna in his room. Master Prati. Now addressing to Sri M, Sri Ramakrishna is talking. ईश्वरीय रूप मानते हुए, Sri Ramakrishna is saying, he's telling Sri M that you must accept the form of God. Remember during the initial visits, when once Sri Ramakrishna had asked Sri M, what do you believe in? Sakar or Nirakar? You believe in God with form or God without form? And Sri M, with his college education, with his Western influence, he had replied very proudly, I believe in Nirakar. I believe in formless God. And then Sri Ramakrishna had just smiled and told him, that is very good. It is good to believe in something. But if you are believing in God with form, know for sure. If you believe in God without form, know for sure that God with form also exists. Now, for Sri M, who had studied logic, hmm, the Western way of understanding the things, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and all that the logical reasoning, it was very difficult for him to understand this particular concept, that how can two opposite, extremely opposite entities, they can stand true in the same time frame. His logical mind said, if I believe in God without form, there cannot be God with form. Either it has to be, for him, it was either or. For him, it was either formless or with form. He believed in formless, so according to him, there was no form. But Sri Ramakrishna says, no, 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 no. What you are, don't ever think. If you believe in formless, also think that with form is also true. That was the great dilemma. That was the great paradox Sri M had come across at that point of time. Then slowly he started realizing the import of Sri Ramakrishna's words. And today again, Sri Ramakrishna has again raised up that same topic. Ishpuriya Roop Mante Hoy, you should also believe in God with form. And then Sri Ramakrishna tells him, Jagudhatri Ruper Mane Jano. You know the significance of the Jagadhatri form of the Divine Mother. Now, Divine Mother sports in various different forms. She sports as Shama, she sports as Kali, she sports as Durga, she sports as Jagadhatri. And then Sri Ramakrishna asks him, do you know the meaning, the significance of the Divine Mother sporting in the form of Jagadhatri? যিনি জগৎকে ধারণ করে আছেন, the one who is supporting this entire universe, entire creation, she is Jagadhatri. তিনি না ধরলে, তিনি না পালন করলে জগৎ পড়ে যায়, নষ্ট হয়ে যায়. If she doesn't support this creation, if she doesn't preserve this creation will come to an end, it will get destroyed. Then how will this play of the Divine Mother continue? So, she's supporting it, she's preserving it in the form of Jagadhatri. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, মন করিকে যে বশ করতে পারে তারই হৃদয়ে জগদ্ধাত্রী উদয় হন. মন করি, the elephant of the mind. The one who can bring this elephant mind under his control. মন করিকে যে বশ করতে পারে, one who can control this wild mind elephant, তারই হৃদয়ে জগদ্ধাত্রী উদয় হন. Only in that heart, only in that heart which can tame this wild elephant. Only in that heart can this Mother Jagadhatri manifest. She can sport only in such a person. She can sport only in such a heart which has tamed this wild elephant of the mind, who has brought this mind under full control. And when Sri Ramakrishna says this, মন কুড়িকে যে বশ করতে পারে তারই হৃদয়ে জগদ্ধাত্রী উদয় হন. Jagadhatri can sport, can dawn only in that heart. The moment he utters these words, his spiritual son Rakhal. Rakhal is a great spiritually illumined soul. Later, who became Swami Brahmananda, most revered Swami Brahmananda Ji, the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna and our Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. What he says, Rakhal says, Mon Motto Kori. Mind, Mon is mind. Motto is mad. Kori is elephant. Rakhal sitting there listening to Sri Ramakrishna's words. He just makes one comment. The mind is a mad elephant. When Sri Ramakrishna says, only one who has tamed down, who has brought this mind in the form elephant, mind elephant under control, only in that heart will the Mother Jagadhatri sport. Rakhal says, mind is a wild elephant, it is a mad elephant. To that, the father, Sri Ramakrishna, he further comments. He says, সিংহ বাহিনীর সিংহ তাই হাতিকে জব্দ করে রয়েছে. He says, don't worry, although the mind is a mad elephant, it is this lion of this goddess Jagadhatri, it is lion of this goddess Shimhavahini. Shimhavahini's literal meaning is the goddess whose vehicle is the lion. One who rides the lion, the goddess who rides the lion. That lion, তাই হাতিকে জব্দ করে রয়েছে. That lion has kept this elephant, this mad elephant of the mind under its control. Don't worry about it. Yes, like you said, my child Rakhal, mind is wild, mad elephant. But this lion of my mother, this lion of Simhavahini, this lion of the rider of this lion, that lion has kept this mad elephant under its control. It will not allow this mind to go haywire. So that was the talk between the son and father. Now Sri M continues with narration of happening around. It is now evening time. The worship of the mother is going on. সন্ধ্যার পর ঠাকুর বাড়িতে আরতি হইতেছে. The evening service, evening vesper is it is evening now, and after dusk the vesper service is going on in the temple of the mother. সন্ধ্যা সমাগমে ঠাকুর শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ নিজের ঘরে ঠাকুরদের নাম করিতেছে. Now at Sri Ramakrishna sitting in his room is chanting the name of gods and goddesses in his room. He's sitting there. The arti is going on in the temple just from the eastern door of Sri Ramakrishna's room where he is sitting. Sri Ramakrishna is sitting facing north, facing the Nahabat where our Holy Mother is staying. To the east is the door leading towards the Kali Mandir, the Bhavatarini Mandir, where the evening Vesper service is going on, worship is going on, and here sitting on his the small cot, Sri Ramakrishna is chanting the name of gods and goddesses. Just imagine the incarnation of the Lord, the child of the Divine Mother, chanting the names of gods and goddesses. ঘরে ধুনা দেওয়া হইল. The incense and the dhoop is burnt in Sri Ramakrishna's room, and it is spread across in the room, a beautiful atmosphere, the beautiful perfume of that incense is spreading into the room. ঠাকুর বুদ্ধাঞ্জলি হইয়া ছোট তক্তা পোস্টের উপর বসিয়া আছেন, with folded hands, chanting the name of gods and goddesses. Thakur is sitting on his that small cot. মার চিন্তা করিতেছেন, contemplating on his divine mother, thinking about his divine mother, meditating on his beloved mother, hands folded. The incense stick is burnt in the room. Sri M and Rakhal sitting there in front of him, and Sri Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, in deep meditation, meditating on the divine mother who is being worshipped there in that temple. বেলঘরের শ্রীযুক্ত গোবিন্দ মুখুজ্জে ও তাহার বন্ধুগণ আসিয়া প্রণাম করিয়া মেঝেতে বসেছে। From Belghoria. Belghoria is another suburb of Calcutta, another part. From there, Govind Mukherjee and his friends, Bandhugon, they have come to Dakshineshwar, they have come to Sri Ramakrishna, they have offered their pranams, and after offering pranams to Sri Ramakrishna, who is sitting there deep meditation, they have taken their seats on the floor. Mastaro বসিয়া আছেন, রাখালও আছে. Now naturally Sri M is also sitting there, Rakhal is sitting there, and along with him and Rakhal, Govind Mukherjee and his friends who have come from Belghoria, they come and take their seats on the floor. Now Sri M's poetic description of the surroundings. বাহিরে চাঁদ উঠিয়াছে. It is evening. The evening Aarti worship vesper service going on in the mother's temple. Moon has risen outside. Jagat nishobde হাসিতেছে. The entire nature is as if is smiling without creating any noise. It is still, just no noise outside. A still nature, as if is smiling at this beautiful, juncture, at this beautiful setting. The evening vesper is going on. Sri Ramakrishna sitting on his small cot, deep meditation, contemplating on his beloved mother. The incense burnt in the room. Outside, the moon has come up in the sky, and as if the entire nature outside, in that still atmosphere, soundless, no noise, this nature is beautifully smiling. ঘোরের ভিতরে সকলে নিঃশব্দে বসিয়া ঠাকুরের শান্ত মূর্তি দেখিতেছে. Sitting inside the room, everybody is still. They are just watching. They're watching that deep, still, blissful, meditating form of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna in deep meditation, meditating on his divine mother, meditating on his beloved mother. Thakur Bhavavishto. Sri Ramakrishna in deep ecstasy, devoid of anything happening outside. No knowledge of what is happening in the outer world. Just the child and its mother. Just the two of them. Thakur contemplating on the divine mother, oblivious of anything happening outside, in that deep ecstatic mood. কিয়ৎক্ষণ পরে কথা কহিলেন. After some time, Thakur comes down on the normal plane, but still not fully conscious. But he utters a few words, still in that ecstatic mood. But he begins to talk. কিয়ৎক্ষণ পর কোথা কইলে এখনো ভাবাবস্থা. Even now that ecstatic mood is still lingering. He has not come out of it. He has not come out from the grasp of his divine mother. He is still with her, in the arms of his beloved mother. But slowly he is regaining the consciousness of the normal plane. And that is what has happened in this third chapter so far. In our next reading, we will come to know what Sri Ramakrishna talks about. Having come down on the normal plane, to the normal plane, having come down from the realm of his divine mother, what Sri Ramakrishna talks, he is going to talk about Shama. He is going to talk about that dark complexion of the mother, with whom he has spent just a few moments back. He had spent those beautiful, blessed, blissful moments with his divine mother. So that we will take up in our next reading. Till then, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.